This story was sent to me by a subscriber. They asked me not to use their real name, and after reading what they sent, I understand why. They swear this is a true story. I never planned on getting a dog. I was 29, living alone in a small rental house on the edge of town. Quiet neighborhood, no close neighbors, just trees, streetlights, and the kind of silence that gets loud at night. But after a breakup and months of coming home to an empty house, the quiet started to feel wrong, heavy, like the walls were listening. So I adopted a dog. He was a mixed breed, medium-sized, black and tan, floppy ears. The shelter didn't know much about him. He'd been found wandering near the highway, no collar, no chip. I named him Buddy. From the first day, he was perfect. House-trained, calm, slept at the foot of my bed, followed me from room to room like he was just happy to exist near me. For the first time in months, I slept through the night. For a while, everything felt normal, until he started staring. It was subtle at first. I'd be watching TV and I'd notice Buddy sitting in the hallway, perfectly still. Not looking at me, looking past me, toward the corner of the living room. I laughed it off. Dogs do weird things, right? Then it started happening more often. I'd wake up at night and see him sitting upright on my bed, staring at the bedroom door, completely motionless. No tail wag, no blinking, just staring. When I called his name, he didn't react, not even an ear twitch. I started checking the house, closets, bathroom, front and back doors locked, windows closed, nothing. But Buddy kept staring, always at the same places, corners, doorways, the space just above my shoulder, never at the floor. That's when I started feeling it. That sensation you get when someone is standing behind you, but you know you're alone. I told myself it was stress, anxiety, my imagination filling in gaps, until the night I snapped. It was close to midnight. I was sitting on the couch trying to watch something mindless, when I felt that pressure again, that awareness, like I wasn't facing the right direction. Buddy was sitting a few feet away, staring directly over my head. His body was tense, hackles raised, lips pulled back just enough to show his teeth. I said his name, nothing. "Buddy," I said again, louder. Still nothing. I stood up, my nerves shot, and turned toward him. "Stop it," I said, sharp, firm, the kind of voice you use when you mean it. That's when he flinched. He looked at me, actually looked at me, for the first time all night, and I swear to God. His eyes looked relieved, like he'd been waiting for permission. I grabbed his leash and walked him to the back door. "Outside," I said, opening it. He hesitated. That alone should have stopped me. But I was tired, exhausted, scared and angry and desperate for everything to just be normal again. "Go on," I said. He stepped outside. I closed the door and immediately heard breathing. Right behind me, slow, wet, too close. I froze. The kind of breathing you don't mistake for your own. Each inhale sounded strained, like something pulling air through a throat that wasn't made for it. I felt it on my neck. Hot, I didn't turn around. I couldn't, because something else hit me all at once. The realization. Buddy had never once stared at the floor, never at the walls, never at nothing. He had always been staring up, at something taller than me, something that could stand right behind me without touching the ceiling. The breathing stopped, and then I heard a voice, not in my ears, in my head. "You told it to leave." My knees buckled. I screamed and spun around. There was nothing there. No shape, no shadow, no movement, just the empty kitchen. The back door rattled violently. I threw it open. Buddy bolted inside and slammed into my legs, shaking so hard he could barely stand. He refused to look behind me, buried his face into my stomach and whimpered. We slept in my car that night. I moved out 2 days later. The landlord asked why I was breaking the lease. I told him the truth. He just nodded. He said the last tenant had a dog too. Said it used to stare at corners. They found it dead in the house after she disappeared. Buddy still stares sometimes, but only when we're somewhere new, and when he does, I listen to him now. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe for more true horror sent in by viewers just like you. New stories every week, and remember, if something is staring at you, there might be a reason it doesn't want you to turn around. Good night.